Hey all, this is Chuck Mayer welcoming you to the weekly update with a real videographer this week, unlike weeks past. Thank you, videographer. And if you guys want to come in the store, I'll show you what came in this week. The first thing you're going to see when you walk in is the Wind Me, and the Wind Me is the Google FX4. We've got now 15 and a half days to register. All you got to do is come in. Tell us that you're subscribed on YouTube, show us on your phone, Fishy Business SC, and where you got us on our Facebook, and you're entered to win the FX4 that we're going to do the drawing in 15 days. Not only that, but we've got a special coming up in November and December, so 2 more drawings after that. So if you don't win the FX4, it's worth it to get the ticket in every chance you get. You get as many as you come in, and you will have the opportunity to win the FX4. And the 2 new prizes that are coming up with the next 2 months building to Christmas. So that's the first thing that I wanted to talk about. A couple weeks ago I made mention of aquarium salt and how important it is in a freshwater tank. That was probably 2 or 3 videos ago. And what I want to say, because a lot of times we forget to tell people certain things, my freshwater customers, something as equally important as aquarium salt in your aquarium. And that would be algae wafers. Everybody pretty much has an algae eater, excuse me, algae eater of some kind in their aquarium. And what most of the time people think is that, yes, I'm getting the algae eater to eat the algae in my aquarium. And yes, that is probably why you're getting it, unless you're a collector. But you gotta feed them. They can't just live off the algae in the tank, or they won't necessarily live off the algae in the tank. You're going to want to give them algae wafers. And if one of us here at Fishy Business is not telling you that, I'm telling you now. So please make sure that if you buy any type of Plecostomus, any type of algae eater, Chinese algae eater, loaches of some kind that eat algae, you absolutely want to get algae eaters for them, because that's going to supplement the diet and keep them alive. So just another quick tip, you now know you need aquarium salt and you need an algae wafer for algae eaters. And there are lots of different kinds. Whoever's helping you here can kind of direct you based on the type of algae eater that you have. But make sure you supplement the diet so that they will live long enough to eat the algae in your tank. So one other thing I want to bring up, as the weather is getting ready to change, I think 47 tonight is what they're saying. We just got these titanium heaters in from Via Aqua. But any heater is going to be important now. As we know, 2-degree temperature change in any aquarium, be it salt or fresh, can cause ick, and can cause a parasitic outbreak or negative things to happen with your fish. And now that we're getting to that time of autumn where the time changes and the weather changes, it's just like in spring. It's the riskiest time for transporting fish, having your tank ready for just the new season coming in. You want to make sure that you have stable temperature requirements in your tank. So that's very important and something that I want to share with you as well. So let's go look at the fish. So rolling into what came in this week and what is coming in, we're going to start right here with angelfish. And I know I've shown this for a couple weeks in a row, but we really do have a lot of nice, small, variegated looking angelfish with a lot of different varieties, a lot of different color patterns, and the perfect size because they're young. You can put a good grouping of them in a communal tank, and they just really look nice. They came in just looking great. So I want to start with the angelfish. If you have a planted tank or just a community tank, these might be perfect for you. Right over here, what you'll notice is a very empty plant tank, because on Friday, Kevin has got a huge shipment coming of live plants. So for the weekend crowd, Saturday and Sunday, this tank will be loaded with all those fantastic large Amazons you guys like so much, and whatever else that he thought was worthy to put in the plant tank. So this should be very full by this weekend. Okay, we're gonna go this way. One thing I've been trying for us to get back in stock, because I really like this fish because of the versatility of it. It's a beautiful cichlid. It's called a blue acara, but these are electric blue acaras. They're not quite as sharp as the electric blue Jack Dempsey's, but the versatility in what you can put them with in pretty much a community tank, even for being a cichlid, and they get a fair good size. I've got some in service that are probably about that big, and you can see them in here with the rainbows. We also got some beautiful turquoise rainbows in this week. Looks like maybe some Parkinsoni as well. One of my favorite rainbows, and I talk about it sometime, are the Wernerite thread fins, and we got those this week. This is a very ornate, small rainbow that if you have a small tank and you really want to make a fish that pops, this one really will do it. Desktop aquariums, and even in big aquariums and small schools, it's fantastic. We also got in some of the striped butterfly loaches. This is a fish that we don't have very often. It looks like kind of like a little tiny stingray that will attach right to the side of a tank. But it's a great conversation piece because not a lot of people have them. Not a lot of people have them often. And just in these 2 tanks this week, Kevin's got us set up with some really cool fish. So definitely something to check out. The blue acaras, the turquoise rainbows, the Wernerite threadfin rainbows, and the striped butterfly loaches are really cool oddballs to have this week. If you ever wanted a little puffer fish, these are really cool, small, little bumblebee pea puffers. They're very inexpensive. They are aggressive for their size. You can kind of see them a little bit running around in here, but they're really cool. And they make, you know, for some kind of desert laid out small aquarium, these are great little fish, and they're a great conversation piece because they are freshwater puffers. Yeah, really cool. It's pretty rare that we get really showy eels. This is a very showy eel, and hopefully, even though we keep these in a dark tank because it doesn't spook them so much, it's a little harder to see, I know, in the video, but these are gorgeous fire eels. They are about that big, so very beautiful. They've already developed that beautiful red color they get their name from with the beautiful stripe. They look great in a barred tank with larger bodied community fish. I've got 3 of them, I think. Kevin, 2, 3? 3. I got 3 right now. He just released these. These just came in today. They look phenomenal. And they are a choice eel if you want an eel for your tank. We also got in a freshwater moray eel. And though it's a little elusive right now, lots of spots, a very mottled color pattern, but really cool. The same as with the fire eel. We got a couple rope fish that came in this week. I got in some beautiful black ruby barbs. You can already see their color starting to develop right here, and you'll also see swimming amongst them some really nice clown loaches, which are a fantastic bottom dweller. While they don't eat a fish's waste, they do eat leftover food and keep the bottom clean. They pretty much keep to themselves or within their group. They're not aggressive, so this is a pretty cool wow factor in any type of community tank are the clown loaches. A new geophagus that we just got in, the red tapajos geophagus right here trying to eat my finger. Don't let that fool you. They are not that aggressive of a fish. I talk about geophagus now and again when I get really pretty ones in because it's a very large bodied cichlid that is not very aggressive. It will hold its own. Again, I wouldn't put them with rummy nose and neons, but if you have larger bodied fish like gouramis, like rainbows, anything that cannot just get swallowed in one shot, geophagus are fantastic. They're beautiful fish. They only get more beautiful the older that they get, and it's cool to have a really big fish in with a lot of smaller fish swimming around, just for the kind of cause and effect of how the tank looks. So that's a really cool fish right there. I've got this ornate polypterus, which is one of my favorite fish just because it has a very boa constrictor-like look to it. I also have the, I think an albino polypterus in here as well. Yeah, albino senegalis. Okay, so that one, and you can see this ornate coming into view. It's a little pricey for a small fish, but these are very hardy fish. It's a classic dinosaur fish, so it will get all the oohs and ahs when people look at your tank, including you. It's just really a cool fish. The Angelicus boteas, I've got 2 swimming around here. A very ornate little botea type of loach that goes along the bottom just like the clown loaches we were talking about and eats any leftover food or anything like that. So those are really great fish too. really, really nice guppies again this week. We back-to-back weeks. If you like guppies, fancy guppies, the ornateness of the tail and the electric colors on these look pretty much like they were plugged into a wall. So these are great, great little fish. And I think, oh, come with me. These albino ruby Oscars that came in this week all have different patterns on them. They're the albino part of their body and the red part of their body are really strongly separated in the color. So whichever one of these you might come in for, if you're in the market for a larger fish, Oscars and South Americans and what have you, these are great fish just because the color looks so good this week. And that about sums it up for freshwater this week. There's lots more than what I mentioned as far as freshwater, but those are some of the highlights. We did get in some leaf fish that are really pretty. And those are the things off the top of my head. So come in and see what we got. Okay, so now let's go to saltwater. So starting off with saltwater, I want to show you guys something, especially my rural people out there. We get in lots of zoanthids. We get them in every week, all the time, in every different flavor you can imagine. We got a rock of them this week that Guy and Gracie has cut up, that we have cuttings of that you're gotta see to believe it. Right now we're calling them Bam Bam Zoas. I don't keep up with the names. I know that it's a zoanthid and it comes out of the ocean and it's orange. These are electric orange. I mean electric socket orange. If you look at this tank, as pretty as all these different corals are, the first thing your eye sees is these, and right now we've got cuttings of them. I think we have maybe 8 or 9 cuttings. So if you are in the market for a wow factor in a little section of your saltwater aquarium, those zoanthids are a pretty good place to start. It's been very busy today. We got in a shipment this morning. We've got a shipment that is sitting at the airport right now, and we have a shipment that is coming in tomorrow. So a lot of saltwater isn't going to make the video. Watch Facebook, because Gracie will be making posts as those fish come in. I'm going to show you what we got today and some of the really, really nice stuff that came, so you can kind of see, a starting point for saltwater. But this week especially is by no means the only saltwater. In fact, this is probably the biggest saltwater quantity that we've gotten in the month of October so far. So, without further ado, check these out. These anemones are fantastic. We got a plethora of rose bubble anemones. They all have beautiful electric green centers with beautiful orange and red capped tentacles, and I've got a lot of different ones, and I've got them at a very, very good price because I have a plethora of them. So if you've ever wanted a rose bubble but didn't want to spend $100 for it, this is a pretty good place to start because they're nowhere near that. So get them while you can. I've never had this many rose bubbles before, but I got them now. So having said that, check out this beautiful black leopard wrasse swimming around. We don't get black leopard wrasses too terribly often, but I got one now. I also have a beautiful white-tailed tamarin wrasse that came in. Most of these are part of the chorus wrasse family and like families. The ornate leopard wrasses with the pink in the body we got in. These are like a pink and green leopard wrasse. They're exceptionally beautiful and cohabitating with very little problem. I got in some very beautiful Salabrius and Parachilinus wrasses this week. The orangeback wrasse came in. I got a lot of really nice orange anthias that came in this week. 6-line wrasses are back in stock. Those are perfect for small tanks, especially if you've got these biocubes, small Red Sea tanks, desktop fluval tanks, sea tanks. These are great because they don't get very big, and in a fish that big, you've got blue, you've got green, you've got pink, and you've got a fish that stays out and doesn't spook very easy. So that's a great fish. We got in the little Rubra ventralis. We got in the Naokos fairy wrasse, which is very similar. Got in a really nice Royal Grama has come in this week. Oh, really, really pretty dragon wrasse came in this week. As always, my favorite little tank with the Passer Angel and the Desjardins sailfin. Small blonde Naso tangs came in this week. Rose skunk clowns came in this week. Beautiful, beautiful big sailfin tang came in this week. Really nice Volitan lions are in again. My favorite angel, the majestic or the Navarcus, Euphopops navarcus. Beautiful, beautiful angel. If there ever was an angel fish that'll work in about, well, with about 70 to 80% success rate in a reef tank, it is the majestic. Really pretty bluefin. Oh, we did get in a couple other corals. Really nice Duncans this week, broken up into really nice rocks. The Raja Rampage, the Jason Fox Raja Rampage, we haven't had these available for a long time, so we have these. And I got in some pretty hammer and frog spawns. These are the multicolors, the green and the blues. Beautiful frog spawns that I haven't had in a very, very long time. Lots of hammers. Let's see what else I might have. Oh, really beautiful Platygyra brain coral, ultra green torch, and we've got this really fantastic combo rock. These are just a few of the things that we've gotten in so far this week. Again, I can't emphasize this enough, but watch your Facebook because there will be a shipment in later today. There will be a shipment in tomorrow. So this is Chuck Mayer. Thank you for watching the weekly update. Thank you, cameraman, for being here to shoot the weekly update. I wish you all a wonderful week. Please come see us.